All right. Let's do the chanting first together, then we shall take up the class. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. Om Bhadram Karnevhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashe Maksha Virya Yatraha Sthirai Rangai Stuštuvagam Shastanuvihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right. So we are studying Mandukya Upanishad. We have studied so far 6 mantras. Among the 6 mantras, the analysis actually started with mantra number 3. Mantra number 3 was all about our waking state, the waker. In Sanskrit, the Viśva. Mantra number 4 was about the dreamer, our dream state. In Sanskrit, that state is called Taijasa. And mantra number 4 and 5 were about mantra number 5 and 6 were about the deep sleeper. Deep sleeper, in Sanskrit, it is called Prājña in individual level, and at cosmic level, it is called Ishvara. We have seen so far that Upanishad is pointing out to the fact that as every day in our deep sleep, as if our world dissolves, there is a dissolution every day in our deep sleep when we are not aware of the external world, nor are we aware of our dream world. And that state, when you are in deep sleep, what is happening, all the world, the dream world and our waking world remain in a potential form, in a causal state, only to spring up again when we move from deep sleep to dream, or from deep sleep to the waking state. When we wake up, all those which were in potential form in the causal body, then they again spring up, as it were, the creation happened. In cosmic level, this dream and this deep sleep does not happen every day. Okay, in cosmic level, in cosmic time frame, waking state is for billions of years. Then it goes into dissolution, where every created objects then go back to their potential form in a seed form. That is a causal state. And from that, before creation starts, the cosmic consciousness dreams about creation. It's like a blueprint, what the creation will be like. That state is a cosmic dreamer. In Sanskrit, does anybody remember that state? In Sanskrit, what it is called?
Hiranyagarbha.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Betty. You remember, because it is not so easy, very confusing. Okay, very good. So we saw all of these, and in the last mantra was very good, that in the cosmic aspect, the Brahman, as it were, for the time being, let us consider Brahman creates the world, pure consciousness, and to create it needs to have the knowledge of the entire creation it is going to create. Just like a painter should have a clear knowledge of what the paint they are going to paint. Similarly, that is why Ishvara is called Sarveshvara, the all-powerful. No, Sarvagya, omniscient. Ishvara knows everything, what is going to come in the creation. And also, they should have the power to create. That is why it is called Sarveshvara. Omnipotent, the power or skill, not only knowledge about how the painting should be, but also I should have the skill and the power to, if we call it, the ability to do the painting. That is Ishvara's power. Up to that we saw. And then we saw 5 Kārikas of Gaudapada. And I briefly went through them, and later on I recognized I did not do justice. I should spend some more time with the Kārikas. Okay, that's why I shall take up the Kārikas today. 6 Kārikas we shall take up. Okay. And someone asked, and Kārikas are very, I would say, very profound in themselves. Okay, so much profound that many scholars believe that Kārika, the Kārikas were written first. Okay, and Mandukya Upanishad was embedded into the Kārika later on. But many also don't agree to that. So today, someone asked, in last class, someone asked to speak something about Gaudapada. Okay, so I shall start with Gaudapada. I shall Gaudapada. And wonderful Gaudapada, because we know nothing about Gaudapada. So Gaudapada's life story is like this. We know nothing about Gaudapada. Okay, a few things we know for sure. The word Gauda refers to a particular place in India, that is north of Bengal. North of Bengal is called Gauda. Okay, and it has been found even in old Sanskrit text. That region is called Gauda. Okay, Gauda. Now, so it is sure that Gaudapada lived in north of Bengal. No biography of Gaudapada is available. It was the custom at that time that the writers did not care to write about themselves. Nothing could be known from their works about their personal life. For example, we know Acharya Shankara wrote extensively commentaries and texts and independent texts, poems, whatnot. But nowhere he has revealed anything about his personal life. They did not deem it necessary to write about them. They were totally concerned about the message than the person. And some of them, that's why, even did not write their name after creating a work. A stark difference between the world we live in, where we want our name to be known, we want to be recognized, we want attention, but to them, the philosophy and message was more important than the person. So likewise, Gaudapada did not write anything about himself. Tradition ascribes him to be Parama Guru of Shankara. So Parama Guru, one meaning is grand teacher, that is teacher's teacher. Shankara's teacher was Govindapada. And so people think that Gaudapada was even teacher of Govindapada. Okay, we shall come to that in a moment, that it is not so. Okay. Gaudapada, as we said, was born in North Bengal. Gaudapada is a honorific title. Okay. Pada means sir or respect. Gaudapada. So it's the gentleman from Gauda, North of Bengal. But he spent considerable amount of time in the Himalayas. In the Himalayas, there is a place called Badrika Ashrama. Why it is Badrika? Interestingly, Badrika, the word Badrika means berries. So in that region, there used to be a lot of berry orchards. Now, no, if you go now, you will not see any of them. It has become a town, a temple town. Shankaracharya also spent a lot of time at Badrika Ashrama. Wonderful view. The beauty of Badrika Ashrama is it snows there, but not so heavily. So it's a kind of valley, we may say, and surrounded by snow-capped mountains. So wonderful view, and there is an ancient temple of Vishnu, Badrika Ashrama, Badri Narayana. So there, Gaudapada spent a lot of time, and tradition says that he had spiritual revelation there, spiritual experiences there. And as is common in India, even today, if someone has achieved something in spiritual path, very soon people gather around them, flock to them, gather around them in the hope of getting a bit of the knowledge, to get instructions from them. So Gaudapada, after revelation, taught a few handful of disciples who gathered around him. And there he composed this Mandukya Kārika. Mandukya Kārika. Okay. And what is his timeline? Timeline or time frame? There are a lot of doubts about that. Many Western scholars have different opinions about Gaudapada's time. So more or less, the agreed upon timeline is he was existent in between 300 and 500 common era, which we call AD after that. 300 to 500 common era. That was the time also when this kind of literature called Kārika flourished. In Vedanta, there are several types of literature, although it is aside, but interesting to note. One was the main Upanishads. They are so ancient that it is said there's no human writer of the Upanishad. Okay. Then later on came Sutra, okay, aphorism. Then Kārika, and all this time, then commentary. So these are types of literature. Sutra is aphorism. Kārika is aphorism, but longer aphorism. And commentary, we know that it is much more elaborate. Then is gloss called tika. Okay, so all of these types of literature flourished at different periods of time. Kārikas flourished around from 300 to 500 CE. Okay. Now the question is, it is said that, so 300 and latest 500. Okay. But Shankaracharya's time is 788 to 820 CE. So the question the doubt will come, how then Gaudapada can be the teacher of Shankara? It is almost 200 years of difference. 200 years of difference. One way of reconciling this is to assume that probably Gaudapada lived long, so also Govindapada. Both the teachers and teachers of Shankara, they probably lived a long life. But another way of looking at it, that another scholar whose name is Vidyaranya, who was in 1100 CE. Vidyaranya is most famous for Panchadashi. If you have heard about the text Panchadashi, a text on non-dual Vedanta containing 15 chapters, and hence the name Panchadashi, which literally means the 15. 15 chapters, Panchadashi. Vidyaranya in a verse says that there were 5 other teachers in between Shankara and Gaudapada. In between Gaudapada and Shankara, there were 5 more teachers. In a verse, he gives the lineage of the teachers. There we see 5 more teachers in between Gaudapada and Shankara. So it may be when Shankaracharya says Parama Guru Gaudapada, he meant the supreme teacher, the great teacher. Parama word means also the great, the supreme teacher. Okay, out of reverence, Shankaracharya might have said Parama Guru Gaudapada. So it is not necessarily my grand guru, grand teacher. Okay. All right. So that is all we know about Gaudapada. A few more works are ascribed to him, like a commentary on Samkhya Kārika, a commentary on Uttara Gita, so on and so forth. But these claims are doubtful. Okay, scholars are doubtful about the claims, whether it is the same Gaudapada who wrote those texts, or at all Gaudapada wrote them or not. Okay, that is Gaudapada. Okay, and Gaudapada had great contribution to non-dual Vedanta. Much before Acharya Shankara, he kind of formulated the philosophy of non-dual Vedanta in his Mandukya Kārika, through his Mandukya Kārika. Okay, so non-dual Vedanta did not start with Acharya Shankara. Acharya Shankara was a great exponent of non-dual Vedanta. He was a great, he made it, put it into firm foundation, and argued against other schools, other philosophies, and established non-dual Vedanta. So at least 300 years prior to Shankara, Gaudapada expounded non-dual Advaita Vedanta in his Kārika, Gaudapada Mandukya Kārika. Mandukya Kārika also goes by the name Agama Shastra. Agama. Agama means scripture. Okay. And here it means Upanishad, Shastra, a scripture based on the Upanishad. Okay, that is Gaudapada. Then now, what is Kārika? Okay, a bit about Kārika. You remember we studied Narada Bhakti Sutra, aphorism. Okay, so Kārika is longer forms of sutra or aphorism. In sutra, the goal was to be as concise as possible. But Kārika, they took some liberty and wrote them in verse form, in metrical form. Okay. And they are not commentary per se, but they expound one aspect or a theory of a text in a metrical form so that it is easy to memorize. Easy to memorize. In Indian spiritual traditions, in scholastic and academic traditions, two Kārikas are very famous. One is Mandukya Kārika by Gaudapada, which we are now discussing. Then Samkhya Kārika of Ishvara Krishna, which was in 350 CE. And the Samkhya Kārika was based on Samkhya Sutras. Samkhya Sutras. Okay. Samkhya Sutra, we know Samkhya philosophy, right? Heard about Samkhya philosophy, which speaks about Purusha and Prakriti. And yoga, the Patanjali yoga, is entirely based on Samkhya philosophy. Then what is the textbook of Samkhya philosophy? Samkhya Sutra. Samkhya Sutra. But Samkhya Sutra was lost. Samkhya Sutra was never to be found. What we found was Samkhya Kārika. Ishvara Krishna, another scholar, he wrote a Kārika on Samkhya Sutra. Had Ishvara Krishna not written Samkhya Kārika, we would not have known the philosophy of Samkhya. That is the beauty of this kind of literature. Samkhya Sutra was lost. With that, we lost the basic tenets of Samkhya philosophy, which is said to be the most ancient philosophy of the world. That philosophy we could not have known had Ishvara Krishna not written another Kārika called Samkhya Kārika. So based on Samkhya Kārika, we understood what Samkhya philosophy is this. What Samkhya philosophy is. Okay. So that is the beauty of these various types of literature. Kārika, we understand, and Mandukya Kārika. Okay. A few things about Mandukya Kārika itself. Mandukya Kārika, there are 215. Unfortunately, there is no English equivalent of the word Kārika. Sutras have equivalent called aphorism. Bhashya is commentary. Tika is gloss. But Kārika has no equivalent. So we have to use the word Kārika. So Mandukya Kārika, in that Gaudapada expounds the non-dual Vedanta or sets the stage for non-dual Vedanta in 215 Kārikas, spread over 4 chapters. 4 chapters. In the very beginning, in the introduction class, I gave an overview of the 4 chapters. Among them, the first one is called Agama Prakarana. Agama Prakarana means the chapter which is based on the Upanishad itself. Why it is so? Because only the first chapter of Mandukya Kārika pertains directly to Mandukya Upanishad. But majority of the Kārika, what in Gaudapada does is takes the lead from Mandukya Upanishad and expounds the philosophy of non-dual Vedanta with the help of arguments, logic, as well as references to many other Upanishads, mostly Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So is it clear? So Mandukya Kārika consists of 215 Kārikas spread over 4 chapters. Okay. Chapters 2nd, 3rd, and 4th have no direct connection with Mandukya Upanishad. He kinds of takes Mandukya Upanishad as a springboard and builds his non-dual Vedanta theory in those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th chapters of Mandukya Kārika. Only the first chapter is directly connected with Mandukya Upanishad, which we are studying now. And the smallest number of Kārikas are here, 29 Kārikas, only 29 Kārikas here, based on the Mandukya Upanishad. And how he structures the Kārikas? After mantra 6, which we have studied, he writes 9 Kārikas, 1 to 9. After mantra 7, he writes Kārika 10 to 18. After mantra 11, he writes Kārika 19 to 23. And after the last mantra, mantra number 12 of Mandukya Upanishad, he writes Kārika 24 to 29. What he does, mainly he analyzes the 3 states of consciousness mentioned in the Mandukya Upanishad for the purpose of showing that tridhā, the pure consciousness, underlies and transcends the changing states of experiences. That is the main focus of the first chapter, Agama Kārika. Agama Prakarana. Prakarana means chapter, Agama means here based on the Upanishad. So today we shall take up Kārika 1 to 6. As I said, he wrote 9 Kārikas after mantra 6. We have studied up to mantra 6. We shall take up mantra 7, which will speak about that 4th state, tridhā, the pure consciousness. So 9 Kārikas are there. To give a feel of the Kārika, we shall take as much as possible of the first Prakarana only. Okay. Why only first Prakarana? Because rest of the Kārikas will become very abstruse and polemical, and not directly connected with the Mandukya Upanishad. If you are interested, you can study the book of Swami Ishadhyanananda, has all the Kārikas, but it is doubtful how much we can understand independently. So we shall try to study as many of the Kārikas of the 29 Kārikas of the first chapter. So 1 to 9 we are supposed to study. Today we shall take up only up to 6. Okay, these are profound. So among these 1 to 9 Kārikas, right, which come in between mantra number 6 and 7 of Mandukya Upanishad, there is a general structure. Structure is like this. Kārikas 1 to 5 are about the 3 states which we have studied. Okay, he consolidates what Upanishad has said so far and offers his unique insight. He not only consolidates, but he offers something unique to them. That is interesting to note. Kārika 6 is about the theory of creation, how creation happened, And Kārika 7 to 9 is about other theories of creation. And finally, in Kārika number 9, he answers why creation happened. Okay, about creation, we have this type of questions: who created, how created, why created, and when created. Okay, so today in Kārika 6, we shall see Gaudapada's view of how creation happened. And next day, when we shall take up Kārika 7 to 9, in Kārika 9, he will answer the question, why creation happened and when creation happened. Okay. Okay, I see there are questions. Okay. What is Tika? Okay. Was not Samkhya philosophy founded by sage Kapila? So what is Tika? Tika is commentary on the commentaries. Tika is commentary on the commentaries. To be more precise, Tika is help to understand the commentary. Okay, so Tika, the difference between commentary and Tika is this. In commentary, the commentators has a particular world view to establish through the commentary. Okay, that is, the commentator is not simply explaining the text, but they are explaining the text through a particular lens, through a particular worldview. Okay, for example, the same Mandukya Upanishad, when commented upon by Madhva, another commentator, he will try to explain everything in terms of dualism. He will bring in God, theistic God. Okay, so it is not simply explanation, which means commentary. Commentary means explanation, but with a particular, through a particular lens, particular worldview. And Tika is even to understand the commentary further. Tika does take up some words from the commentary and explains its meaning. But the writer of the Tika, in English it is called gloss, they don't offer their own viewpoint, their own worldview. That is the difference between commentary and gloss, bhashya and Tika. Okay, the second question was, is not Kapila wrote Samkhya Sutras. Okay, but Samkhya Sutras were lost. Okay, what we find about Samkhya philosophy is totally from the Kārika called Samkhya Kārika, which was written by a scholar in much later 350 CE called Ishvara Krishna. Okay, all right. Now, speaker, okay, what we shall take up? Okay, Kārikas. In our last class, I briefly went through the Kārikas. Today, I want to go further, deeper. I don't know whether I will be able to cover all the 6 Kārikas. Even if I cannot, I won't rush through because this is important. So let's jump in. The Kārika is this. bahiṣprajño vibhurviśvo hyantaḥprajñastu taijasaḥ ghanaprajñastathā prājña eka eva tridhā smṛtaḥ. So he is just consolidating what we have already learned. This is Gaudapada's, okay? Gaudapada tells us after mantra 6, Gaudapada says, take a break. Take a break before going to mantra number 7. Let me consolidate what you have studied so far in the Upanishad. What he says is, Viśva, the awaker, is with outward consciousness and is all-pervading. Here, all-pervading means not literally that we, what is Viśva? Viśva means we, right now, at the waking state, the consciousness associated with this state, these two together is being called Viśva. Okay, so imagine it this way. If consciousness is pure, he wears, let me call it it. It wears a shirt, okay, and the shirt is waking state. So the waking shirt, that waking shirt and consciousness, these together, they are called Viśva. Okay, Viśva, the waker. So consciousness has to be present in every state. Viśva means the waker is with outward consciousness and all-pervading. It is not all-pervading. What it means is, vibhu means here, goes all over the places. Mind is outgoing and goes all over the places, no limit of its going. Okay, that means not only that I can see what is, my mind can go only 20 feet from here, but I can even think of or see even at distant places with the help of other things, or even if there is a horizon and unobstructed view, it can go up to a great extent. In that sense, it is all-pervading. Taijasa, the dreamer, however, is with inward consciousness. Inward consciousness means our consciousness is then, our awareness is not then going out through the sense organs. They are all shut off in dream. Inward consciousness means it is then focused to our private world of dream. And prajña, the deep sleeper, is a mass of consciousness. That is, there is no distinct object. Only consciousness alone is there and covered with blankness, darkness. No other object, distinct objects are present. And what he adds, and this what the first line is, the 1.5 part of the verse is what we know already. Only the 4th quarter, ākāśe tridhā smṛtaḥ, is his own contribution. It means the same one thing is thought of in threefold way, which the Upanishad did not tell till now directly, that it is the same one thing seen as threefold way. The same consciousness, same Atma assumes, as it were, 3 types of identities. Okay, so not that the waker and dreamer and the deep sleeper are 3 different realities, but it is the one pure consciousness which is appearing as 3 types of identities. Go back to the analogy of Julia. The same Julia is the manager, same Julia, the friend, same Julia, the mom, same Julia, the wife. It is the same Julia. Okay, so our waking awareness outside goes all over the places, and the dreamer has inward consciousness, and prajña is a mass of consciousness, indistinct. There is no distinct knowledge of everything. What it experiences is bliss. Okay, resume share. All right. Then, any question about this mantra? It is pretty much clear. Only one thing we have to remember: the same pure consciousness is thought of in a threefold way. All right. Second mantra is a bit mystical. dakṣiṇākṣimukhe viśva manasyantastu taijasaḥ ākāśe ca hṛdi prājñah tridhā dehe vyavasthitaḥ. Viśva is in the opening of the right eye. Taijasa, however, is within the mind. And prājña is in the space within the heart. The same one is placed in the body in a threefold way. So here you need some explanation. Okay, it is about upasana. Okay, so we may think of this way that the three states the Upanishad have told so far, we can easily understand. We go through the three states. But the fourth one, the turiya, pure consciousness, that is not evident to us. Although it is present, but we are not understanding it as it is because of this non-recognition or avidya. So to dispel the non-recognition or avidya, ajnana, or loosely called ignorance, we need to expand our awareness and also increase the capacity to concentrate. So Gaudapada takes the help from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. All right, these three persona, so-called the waker, the dreamer, and the deep sleeper, these three persona, we should try to contemplate. We have read so far, but we need to contemplate. Okay, and to contemplate, Upanishad always, when it comes to upasana, they always refer to one space within our being to focus. Okay, because for most of us, it is difficult to meditate, in an open space that is not focused to any place. Is difficult to concentrate. That's why it is always some space within the body where mind should be concentrated. Okay, if it is outward, going all out, concentration is difficult. So first we try to bring our mind, focus our mind to a particular space within the body. Okay, so how to do that? And this is really mystical. We don't know how it happened, but we find in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, if you want to meditate on the waker, right eye. Why right eye? We don't know. Even though the entire person is the waker, the Upanishad gives a particular location where the waker has to be meditated. And a reason may be right eyes are the most important sense organ. And much of our waking world revolves around sight. Okay. According to then Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, right eye is considered very sacred. And the waker, when waker is who? Waker means the waker has all the sense organs functioning. Okay, so what distinguishes waker from the dreamer? That for the waker, sense organs are open and working. Okay, working, outgoing. So sense organ. So where to meditate? The essence, quintessence of being waker is our sense organs are open and functioning. So meditate on sense organ. Which one? Eye being the most prominent, and that too the right eye. That too the right eye. Interestingly, I heard, I forgot where, that one psychologist in this country tried to get a sense of people's understanding of where their awareness is. Okay. So it's a thought experiment. Thought experiment is like this. You stand up and make a mental line, horizontal line across your waist. Okay, across your waist. All of us can do it right now. Imagine there is a line passing through horizontally through your waist. Okay, so parallel to this table. Now, just close your eyes and think. Try to locate your consciousness. Is it down the line or above the line? Is it below the line, that a horizontal line, or you are feeling it is above the horizontal line? Let me hear. Who felt above? Let me ask rather, who did not feel above? Okay, almost everyone. Okay, fine. Everybody almost feels that consciousness or awareness is above that line. Okay. Second step. Imagine a line going through your chest. Same horizontal line. That line is still present. Horizontal line through your waist, it is present. Okay. And now, say second line going through your chest. Okay. A line means, imagine a plane. Okay, a plane, a table. Now, close your eyes and try to feel where your awareness is. Below this chest line or above this chest line? Okay. Who felt it is below the chest line? Yeah, you just unmute and, oh yes, now you can unmute and say. Both above and below, okay. Who felt above? Okay. Okay, done in, probably done in right conditions, okay. I think if we are standing and doing it, almost all of will feel it is above that chest line, okay. Then I'm not repeating it. You can do it later on. Think about another line going through your throat. And then if you think of, try to locate your awareness, you will find it is above throat level. Okay, above throat level. So maybe there is a reason that we feel our awareness around this region, and Upanishad is telling that concentrate on right eyes, right eyes. It is nothing to prove the Upanishad's assertion. I'm just telling a fascinating fact. Okay, fascinating fact, because ultimately Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where it comes first, is it was a vidya, it was a upasana. We don't know the details of the upasana, where it came from. Okay,
Swami,
all right. Yes.
The right eye normally gives you the acute distant vision.
Oh,
and
is
the
it so?
left eye is more for reading. When you're fitted for glasses, it may have to do with which is your dominant side.
Oh, I see. I did not know that. So right eye is for vision, that is distance.
Yes, if you close one eye, take turns closing each eye. Actually, the right eye has more acute distant vision.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you for letting me know.
Would encompass more.
Right, right. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. All right. So Viśva in the right eye. It is from Upanishad. Okay. Now Taijasa. Taijasa means the dreamer. So all the instruments dreamer has is what? All the instruments that the dreamer is what?
The mind.
Mind alone. Okay. Dreamer is doing everything through mind.
But
so,
Swami, don't we
yes.
use some of our senses in dreams, like our sight and sometimes, no?
No, that
Okay.
is what I wanted to clarify even a few classes ago, that those eyes and those senses, other sense organs are not these eyes, these sense organs. Okay, these are subtle organs. Okay, those are embedded in mind. That is when we call subtle body, right? To be more precise, it is the subtle body. But subtle body is mostly mind, and the seats of the sense organs. We call it the Sukshma Indriya. Okay, the subtle sense organs. Okay, so Gaudapada says that how to meditate on the dreamer. The dreamer's quint essence is mind. Okay, so if you try to meditate or contemplate on the dreamer, use your mind. Okay, that is, concentrate on your mind. Again, we don't know the specifics of this upasana. It was mentioned in the Upanishad. Most likely, there were a lot of people who knew this type of meditation. What it means to meditate on mind, to get a sense of the dreamer. Okay, sense of the dreamer. And finally, what is left? The deep sleeper, prājña. Prājña, where to be meditated? Again, Gaudapada borrowed it from Upanishad, chapter 2. Within our heart, there is an inside space, which we roughly call the heart center. And into this space, all our sense powers and mind are resolved when we are in deep sleep. Deep sleep. Okay. So that heart center is where we need to meditate on the sleeper. Okay. Sleeper is called prājña. So we don't give much thought to our deep sleep state, but Upanishad said deep sleep is something very profound, because there multiplicity has vanished. And the word prājña means special knower, one who knows everything. Everything means here multiplicity is gone. Multiplicity is gone. So we have, according to Advaita Vedanta, we have two problems here. One is, not only we are not seeing one, the one consciousness we are not seeing, but instead, another, we are seeing multiplicity. Okay, so two problems. One is problem of multiplicity, another is missing out the one, the turiya. Only in deep sleep, multiplicity is gone. What is there? Only the veil of Maya. Okay, in that sense, among the three states, prājña, the deep sleep, is so close to knowledge, so close to illumination. Here, only the veiling power of Maya is working. The projection power of Maya is not working. Okay, to give an analogy, you have entered a hall, movie theater hall, and movie has not started, okay, yet. So you can still see the black screen, okay, black screen. You are not able to see what is behind the screen, but at least you can see the black screen. Very soon, the movie will start and the screen will be forgotten. What is behind the screen will be forgotten, but a new reality which will engage us, will be engrossed into that multiplicity that called movie. Compared to that, at least from Advaita standpoint, a blank black screen is better than having a multiplicity of this movie or theater, which takes all of our attention. We even forget to investigate what the screen is, what lies behind the screen. Okay, so in that sense, deep sleep is an important step. Another important, it's a funny thing that the enjoyment, the joy we get in deep sleep is bliss, ānandamaya, right? And that we can infer later on after waking up. After waking up, we understand we were in great rest, great sleep, so well that we did not know anything. So we did not know anything is a statement about ignorance. Ignorance, that we did not know anything, that is we are totally ignorant about. At least we, in dream state, we are aware of our dream objects. In deep sleep, we are not aware of anything. And we are also in bliss. So that proves ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Why deep sleep is so blissful? That because there we are so ignorant about everything. In fact, they say in deep sleep, only Maya in its most rudimentary form remains there. Ignorance, dark ignorance is only veiling the pure consciousness. Okay, so ignorance is bliss. That's why this deep sleep is so important. So Kārika says the same one means the same turiya, pure consciousness, is to be placed in the body in a threefold way. So here placed means the same turiya Chaitanya. Remember, when we are meditating on the waker, or we are meditating on the dreamer, or meditating on the sleeper, all those three are nothing but different names of the same pure consciousness. Okay, that is Gaudapada's contribution. Gaudapada says the same one is being placed. Placed means here is being meditated, where in different three parts of the body, or three different spaces within our being. Right eye for waker, mind for dreamer, and heart center, or the space in heart. In Sanskrit, it is called ākāśe. Chit means consciousness, ākāśe is space, and ākāśe is the space of consciousness that is in our heart, or hṛdi. Hṛdi means heart, ākāśe means space, at the space of your heart. Okay, so the same pure consciousness, try to get a hold of it by meditating at different parts of your being, different spaces of your being, and with the help of the three states of the one pure consciousness, the three identities of pure consciousness. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next Kārika. This is taking longer than I thought. Okay. Okay. Viśvo hi sthūlabhuṅnityaṃ taijasaḥ praviviktabhuk ānandabhuk tathā prājñastridhā bhogaṃ nibodhata. Viśva is indeed the constant experiencer of the gross objects. Gross means here physical objects. Taijasa is the experiencer of subtle objects in dream. And Prājña is the experiencer of Ānanda. Ānanda means bliss, the bliss of complete rest, or the deep peace of complete rest. Know the experience to be threefold. So there is nothing new, only one thing he is telling, that our all experiences, various types of experiences, Gaudapada is reducing to only three types. Whether it is physical experience of gross things, or subtle experiences in dream, or the experience of bliss of rest in deep sleep. Deep sleep. Okay. We already knew that. Okay. Next one, 4. The same thing in just in a different language. Kārika 4. Sthūlam tarpayate viśvam praviviktabhuk taijasam ānandascha tathā prājñam tridhā nibodhata. The gross objects satisfies Viśva, whereas the subtle objects satisfies Taijasa, and Ānanda or bliss satisfies Prājña. Know the satisfaction to be threefold. Satisfaction is also threefold. Gross satisfaction, subtle satisfaction in dream, or the satisfaction of bliss of rest. Okay. One important point to remember, look at the word tarpayate. Okay. So the word tarpana means to please. To Indians, it means a lot. Okay. In Indian tradition, culture, every year, at least on one day, they offer food to the departed ancestors. And that act is called tarpana. So tarpana means to please the departed ancestors. Okay. So according to the law, according to the ancient laws, every Hindu or Sanatan Dharma, they are supposed to do this every day, because there is a rina. Rin means a debt to pay. The idea is human beings have 5 types of debts. Okay, 5 types of debts. One is deva, our gratefulness. We are debtful or grateful to all the forces of nature, which they called devarina. Okay, devarina. That because of everything going on perfectly. That is why we are getting rain in time. Okay, all the seasons in time. So they believed it is because of this invisible forces of nature. We should offer our gratefulness to them. Okay. Second is rishi. Rishi means the sages or the teachers, those who have left or passed on their wisdom to us through books, in the form of books or wisdom, or through oral tradition. That is called rishi rina. Okay. So we need to offer our gratefulness to them. How? By daily studying some books on wisdom. In other words, cultivate knowledge. Cultivate knowledge. Every day one should read something holy or elevating or anything which expands our understanding. That should be done daily. Okay. Why? This is kind of our offering our gratefulness to the rishis, because all the rishis does not mean only the spiritual preceptors. Okay, those who contributed wisdom, knowledge, and we got all of them accumulated. Okay, we did not have to start from the scratch. So many books are available. Those books are product of the individual's lifelong maybe effort, and that came only in a book form. So we should be grateful to them for passing down the knowledge. So that was the rishi. Okay. Third one is pitri. Pitri means our ancestors. Because of them, they passed on their DNA to us, and that's why we are here today. So we should offer our gratefulness. How? Offer some amount of, it's a token. It's a token of our appreciation, food to them. So Indians now cannot do it every day, but every year they usually do it in the month of Durga Puja. Okay, Durga Puja, 15 days before the Durga Puja, probably, yes, 15 days or 7 days, I have forgotten. They offer this food offering to their ancestors, okay, with some mantras. The three and fourth is Nararina, probably. That is offering our gratefulness to other human beings. Other human beings and other, Bhuta Yoga. Bhuta Yoga means all living beings. All living beings. That is all the animals around us, we should offer something. Okay. So maybe a pet or whatever it is, we should offer something to them every day to offer, to show our gratefulness. And finally, what is the other one? Bhuta Yajna, and probably the other one is to our fellow human beings. Okay, I have forgotten the fifth one. Fellow human beings. Yeah, to our fellow human beings. Offer something, do something charitable every day for other human beings. All these ideas were to expand our horizon. Okay, don't be selfish. Every day, do something for animals, other people, and don't forget ancestors. Don't forget to acknowledge the contribution of the seers and knowledgeable people who came before us, and don't forget to acknowledge the forces of nature. So idea was to being grateful for everything, So incorporate gratefulness in your life every day. So these are called 5 Venas, that is 5 dates. And to mitigate these 5 types of dates, we should do 5 types of yajna, that is 5 types of offerings. And 5 types of offerings I mentioned, okay, that to offer our gratefulness to the forces of nature, we do some amount of religious or sacred activities, okay, some mantras uttered to the gods, and do meditation a bit daily, okay, offer your gratefulness to all the deities, all the forces of nature, and thus study little bit of scripture, little bit of elevating books. That is a yajna. Yajna means here offering. Okay, so idea was to have 5 types of offerings daily in your life, so that you don't lead a very individualistic and very selfish life, but you acknowledge that so many people, so many forces, so many people who came in before me, all of them are responsible for my well-being or my existence. So offer that daily. Okay. Tarpana. All these came from the word tarpana. So what Gaudapada says here, that this waker, say these 3 guys, okay, waker, the dreamer, and the sleeper. What satisfy the 3 types, the 3 guys? The physical objects, all the sense objects, please or satisfy the waker. Whereas subtle objects created out of our mind satisfy or please the dreamer. And the bliss of complete rest, that satisfy the sleeper. That's why when we don't have enough of deep sleep, that person, that is the sleeper, that guy gets angry. Okay, that guy gets angry because it could not be satisfied. It could not get its due share of deep sleep. And then we are, after waking up, we feel irritated. So nothing new here, only the way he presented it, that what satisfy whom. Waker is satisfied with physical things, and dreamer is satisfied with subtle things, and deep sleeper, they want deep rest. That, so no satisfaction or pleasure to be of 3 kind. That is what Gaudapada says. So it is 7:15. I won't venture further. Okay, venture further. Next day we shall take up Kārika 5, 6, and if possible 7, 8, 9. Okay, 7, 8, 9. So what the Kārikas did so far is what you already had learned from the Upanishad. It simply consolidated. Okay, it tied all them up so that we can take the next big step in the next Upanishad mantra, where Upanishad will present us the reality as it is. Reality as it is. All right. Anybody, any question? What are the subtle objects to please the Taijasa? Who would like to answer this? The question is, what are the subtle objects to please the Taijasa? Who would like to answer it, this question?
The dreams.
All the objects in the dream. All the dream objects that satisfy the dreamer. Are you happy with the answer? So in dream, there are 2 things, right? A dreamer and the dream, right? Okay, the dreamer and the dream world. So what satisfies the dreamer? The dream objects. In dream, we are elated. In dream, we get confused. In dream, we are sad. So in dream, what makes the dreamer happy? The subtle objects. Okay, subtle objects satisfy or please them. And here, please does not mean necessarily only please. Here it means actually the experience that we are seeking. Okay, the dreamer satisfy his here means the dreamer is seeking the all of dream objects, as it were, that satisfy the dreamer. Okay. Subtle objects are what? All the things we see in the dream, and they are produced. Are they real physical things? They are not. They are subtle things produced out of our own mind, projections of the mind. So if they are not tangible things, they are what? Subtle things. So, okay. Yes, Rick.
You mentioned, am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes, Rick, go ahead. Rick, go ahead. I could hear you. Unmute.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Okay. You mentioned that the commentators have different worldviews. I think that is the word you used. Okay.
Yes.
So what is common to all the commentators is my thought. Is tridhā common?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Is Brahm common?
Yes, of course, common.
Is Ishvara common?
Yes, common.
Is Purusha Prakriti common?
Yes, common.
So from tridhā we download into these other more manifest. So each one then becomes an aspect or there's a word, an attribute of the previous status. So okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, all of them agree on all of this. The difference is, what is the difference? Difference is number of realities. Okay, the difference between the commentator is not in denying the experiences or denying the states. They differ in, ultimately the differences is a very philosophical difference, ontological. Okay, for example, dualist would say that both consciousness is also real and this world is also real. But our goal is to realize our true nature as consciousness. Even dualist will say that. But non-dualist will say that what you call this world has no independent existence, no independent reality. And if something does not have an independent reality, for example, your shadow goes everywhere with you. So is shadow a reality? We experience our shadow. We experience a shadow. Wherever we go with our shadow. If somebody asks, hey, how many of you are here? Do I say, I have come along with my shadow has come? No. But everybody sees, here I am, here my shadow. Two things. But does shadow have an independent reality? No, it does not have. So non-dual Vedanta says, if something does not have independent reality, this world cannot exist without someone to experience it. And to experience, we need consciousness. That means this world's existence depends on my consciousness. So that means this world is ultimately not real. It has got a dependent reality. Okay. These are the points of differences between the commentators.
Maharaj, I'm still trying to understand this right eye, the consciousness in the right consciousness. I thought the seat of
consciousness is not right eye.
Ah.
It is the waker. Consciousness is the same consciousness. We are calling it the viśvo or waker when it is associated with this waking state. Okay. So it is Upanishad is not telling to meditate on consciousness. Try to take a deep look at the waker, who the waker is. And to take a deep look at the waker, we need to meditate. And to meditate, we need a space where we should fix our mind at. Okay. And Upanishad says right eye. So right eye on itself has no value. Okay. Right eye, it can be left eye even. It could have been nose even. Not a problem at all. The problem is you need to think deeply about this waker. Who is this waker? What kind of experience it is going through? Why it is important? Because waker is nothing but the pure consciousness in the cloth of this wakingness. Okay, so right eye is just a suggestion. It is not ultimate anything. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right then. So looking forward to the next one, because the Kārika, the best Kārika is the 6th, which I tried to probably come up today, but no problem. We shall take it up next day. Okay. And whatever I have shown, I will send by email. Okay. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Okay. See you next week. Thank you.
very much.
Yeah,
Pranam.
thank you. Pranam.